Poe on the beat.
I couldn't believe it, even when out of eye, and I still couldn't see it. This is much deeper than flesh and blood. Nigga, we fighting demons. Been double dared by the devil, and I'm still in the field. Now you get to watch me get it up out of the mud. I couldn't believe it, even when I was out of eye, and I still couldn't see it. This is much deeper than flesh and blood. Nigga, we fighting demons. I've been double dared by the devil, and I'm still undefeated. Now y'all get to watch me get it up out of the mud.
Now y'all get to see me without a mud. Everything that I do gon' be out of love. And I'm tired of these trials and these tribulations. And I'm sick of my name always getting drugged. But no, I ain't budge. All of this money and you not pursuing it. All of this time you don't know what to do with it. Counterproductive and counterintuitive. Why you be acting like you already new to it? Straight from the gutter, boy, we getting sewer. As soon as we get it, you know we gon' move it quick. All of this money I made from the block. Get out the game and invest it in stock. Bought me a whip, get the rest of it up. When you saving, don't stop, man, it messes them up. We gon' be fine, but we stay on our grind. All of my niggas is stepping it up, and they foot on our neck and no letting it up. We level the playing field, even the battle. My son is a scientist, he's splitting at us. Need us more geniuses, I know we got them. I know it's in us, I'm bringing it out. I know I ain't perfect, I'm making them out. On Capitol Hill, and I'm bringing them houses. The path that I'm on should nobody follow.
I couldn't believe it, even when out of eye, and I still couldn't see it. This is much deeper than flesh and blood. Nigga, we fighting demons. Been double dared by the devil, and I'm still in the field. Now you get to watch me get it up out of the mud. I couldn't believe it, even when I was out of eye, and I still couldn't see it. This is much deeper than flesh and blood. Nigga, we fighting demons. I've been double dared by the devil, and I'm still undefeated. Now y'all get to watch me get it up out of the mud.
We fought hard on this road this longer. Fighting each other won't make us no stronger. I need this niggas been fighting this hunger. I'm at my worst and ain't getting no wronger. No change of signs, I'm making it through. I flip a chair or a table or two. They won't believe what I'm able to do. I'm making these moves, but this a new movement. My dog at the gate and all praises and newbies. I getting too lit in my boat pack with doobies. On my way up and I break through your roof and shot for the moon and it made me a star. Got so much drive I can make it to Mars. Can't promise a day that I'll make it tomorrow. Every time that we make is to pay what we borrow. It's to pay what we borrow.
Ryu, this is crazy.
Yeah. Watch. Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Watch. Tell them keep playing dumb like ain't nobody a witness. Swear to God on my mama. Everybody gon' get it out. Everybody that's with them out. Cause everybody I lit them out. Keep playing dumb like ain't nobody a witness. Swear to God on my mama. Everybody gon' get it out. Everybody that's with them out. Cause everybody I lit them out. Niggas can't stand on shit, we living stressed out. Finna get a medal of honor, we bringin' vets out. And you get stepped on every time you step out. You not a stepper where you from, you a step down. And stop reppin' where you from, you a let down. Can't be seen where you from, you keep your head down. That fat nigga mention my name, I'm breaking lead out. RIP another boss nigga, I think he bled out. He ain't gon' make it, I'm taking another head count. COVID so hot, I keep him from leaving beds out. Niggas self-snitching on live, bringing the fans out. They the last nigga took a O talking about how he dead now. You don't know your life too short, that had me stressed out. Somewhere he took a wrong turn, I on the death route. Try the little boy yard blue, I bring the chef out. Put a whole drum on the 9, that bitch attack now. Keep playing dumb like ain't nobody a witness. Swear to God on my mama. Everybody gon' get it out. Everybody that's with them out. Cause everybody I hit them up. Keep playing dumb like ain't nobody a witness on my mama. Swear to God, everybody gon' get it out. Everybody that's with them out. Cause everybody I let them out. You can cry all you want, but I don't do tissue. So the guy you don't get through if you let blue get you. I put Nino on that mag, let my boo get you. Making Playboy moves with that new issue. When you surrounded by them snakes, you don't know who bit you. And that's the problem with you fakes, you don't know who hit you. And if I'm trying to make it shake, I don't care who with you. Call me Bruce MBD Sam, I got 2 pistols. AOI, a bunch of lanes, don't let that shoe fit you. And you better keep them tight, don't let that shoe fit loose. I can't miss, everything got shoe hit you. I ain't friendly, ain't shit, about blue been cool. And you know I don't forget I'm like an elephant. Ayo, and the eye really irrelevant. Assed out, and we know we lacking intelligence. Keep them out your circle before you regret you let them in.
Ryu, this is crazy.
Yo, power to the dark side, family. Power to the dark side. Got to give a beautiful praise to the most beautiful goddess of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics for this day, the beautiful Stemia, and of course, in her image, the most beautiful image, Whoopi Goldberg. So you already know what time it is for my Babel builders. You already know you are listening to this. Together we are Babel, and it's time for us to build. So I just wanted to kind of touch on a few of the things that kind of a lot of times ends up happening is that a lot of times we blame our own happiness on the environment and different things like that. But I think that a lot of the times we're kind of allowing people to shape and mold us instead of actually like shaping and molding what's around us. And that's really what we're supposed to be doing, right? Because when you think about it, this is the whole point of me under you, like giving the understanding of everything being in your mind, right? And everything taking place in your mind. That's not only for you just to understand how you see and how you hear and how you interact with this environment, but also is so you understand how you create in this environment. And so, and the many different things that you can create in this environment. And I think a lot of the times when we kind of what we kind of lack at is being able to basically reprogram, because a lot of it is reprogramming the subconscious, right? And so that's when you kind of get into checking your most inner thoughts, your most inner self. But that's something that you gotta like recognize too. That's something that you gotta understand that you actually have a problem with, right? At some point, you gotta be able to see the worst part of you, understand it as a problem, and see how you can change and adjust it. So even when and so like I said, so even just on the level of you having or everything being that's outside being all aspects of the mind, that means that all matter that's created is just the mind. It's just a thought in the mind. So whatever your situation is or wherever you at, you're really one thought away from changing it. You're a thought away from the job that you wanted. You're a thought away from the position that you was asking for. You're a thought away from reaching your potential, your full potential. But the only person that's really responsible for that is the I. And what gets difficult is sometimes it can be uncomfortable because those around you that it can hurt. Everybody's not going to be happy with you reaching your full potential. But then that's part of you understanding also that your energy ain't necessarily for everybody either. Everybody don't deserve your energy. Let me shout out everybody real quick in the building. Shout out to Green 101, who raised your boy. Shout out to you in the building. Hood Therapy is in the building. Shabo Domo, shout out to you, God. Appreciate you. The political plug. J Cal, salute to you, God. So a lot of times we're trying to shape and mold ourselves to fit in. And in all aspects, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be fitting out. At some point, you have to be willing to stand out, even through scrutiny, even through tough losses. But it's almost like a lot of people kind of look at like the horizon, and sometimes you can like, but the horizon is kind of like a glimpse. Like it's like a part where the light shines on on how far you can actually go. It's like the one part where like the light exposes, how far your reach extends, because it gives you a chance to imagine or see a distance that you may not have thought was actually there before. But see, once you know that it's there, now you know it's a possibility that you can get it. Now, actually getting it, this is the part where now you actually have to say it's mine. So a lot of us that's holding back things, that even the things that we want in the material world, you are thought away from it. Shout out to Clyde Diva. I appreciate you in the building. You're only a thought away from your next move. You're a thought away from creating a better circle of friends. Some of us want to eat better. Some of us want to maybe live a healthier life. You're a thought away from doing that. But that doesn't only but see, this is where it also takes place at. It's not only just having the thought, but it's also understanding, now once you believe in that thought, now it's speaking it into the universe with authority. A lot of times they talk about the tone and in which one might speak in order to get something done. But a lot of times they don't really understand the tone that you really speaking to, or that they speaking about. It's a tone of authority. If it's yours, then that's how you speak about it, like it's yours. We play a dangerous game. Sometimes we play around and we use sarcasm and we do, but the universe doesn't understand sarcasm. The mind doesn't understand sarcasm. You playing games with your mind. You can't be playing mind games with yourself. You won't win that battle. You'll only set yourself back. So if that's the job that you want, then it's yours with authority. If you see the goal that you actually want, then that's yours. But that's something that you got to speak with authority. That's something that comes with true faith in the thought. And that also comes with understanding your connection with God. But see, where we get a lack of that is a lot of times, like I said, we give up our power to something that's outside of us when God is already supposed to be in you. So stop inviting energies or different spirits and things that only want to drain you. Stop inviting that. Shout out to Asiatic Line. Appreciate you, God body. A lot of times we end up inviting because these spirits need an invitation in order to drain your energy. They all asking for some sort of invitation into your heart, into your mind. when the true creator is already there. That's why true idolatry is worship of anything outside of the self. Because if the true creator is already in you, what the hell needs an invitation inside of you? Who's on the outside trying to get in? That's the program. That's where the virus comes in at. The virus that you don't have the power to do or to reach the goals that you want to reach, or that you don't have the authority to speak them into existence. These are the type of things that actually that are used to actually hold you back. But a lot of times we fail to kind of we kind of fail to kind of break the mold. A lot of times we're afraid to get over the hurdle because sometimes it's comfortable where we at. Sometimes it's comfortable in third. Sometimes you're comfortable in second place. So you're not even necessarily training as hard as you should be for first. Sometimes it's a way for you to reach your full and see. And this is the thing. This doesn't mean that this has to be competition with those around you. Shout out to Juju. I appreciate you in the building. This doesn't mean that you have this competition with those that are around you. No. The competition is with yourself. And somebody that understands self will build people around them that aren't in competition, but yet we're kind of working towards some of the same goals and aspects, or challenging each other and pushing each other to continue to reach the next step or the next level. Peace, shout out to Emily in the building. Appreciate you. So a lot of what people are doing, they're falling short of the glory because they don't speak with authority. That's an issue. Shout out to Shay Love. Appreciate you in the building. Astro in the mix. Power to the dark side, God body. That's an issue. At some point in time, if you actually have the true power, then not only do you have to change your thoughts, but you have to stand on those thoughts, believe in those thoughts, and then speak them out with authority. But a lot of times, you don't want to take your rightful place in your own kingdom. And a lot of times, people around you are trying to make it seem like you are less than what you are. Watch. Watch what happens when you start speaking things in your life with authority. People gonna start saying, you think you are God. Whose will are you doing this under? Watch how people around you begin to question you. Immediately, you must cut them off and move forward, because that's a virus that you can't allow to seek into your psyche. You can't reach your full potential when people are trying to tell you you less than what you are. Under whose authority are we moving? Whose authority do you think? But that's a lot. Like I said, they want you to lack your self identity. They want you to 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 think of yourself as less than what you are inside of your own kingdom. You can't allow people inside of your own kingdom to tell you what you are. Anybody in your kingdom is subject to you. You created it. Think about it. You created it. You you choose the entertainment. You choose the education. You've decorated every aspect and every part of this kingdom. Can't nobody inside of your kingdom tell you what you are, who you are, how far you can go. See, a lot of people have already settled into their box and they want you to settle into yours. No. If you want to be in a box, go ahead. But boxes are for those who are dead. Boxes is for the dead. You don't want to be physically in a box, and you damn sure don't want to be fit spiritually in a box. A lot of times you end up afraid to say the things that's on your mind because of how those around you, they may not necessarily understand it. See, in these spaces, you can actually express yourself, and we already know exactly what you mean. But in a lot of other areas, when you begin to try to express yourself, what do you find out? That people ain't really trying to hear that shit. Sometimes you can make them uncomfortable. And sometimes what ends up happening is you end up starting to lessen yourself, suppress your own mind in order to make them comfortable. That's not your job. They're subjects in your kingdom. They don't get to shape it. You do. They want to know whose authority. I have the same authority as anybody else does. I can heal the sick. I can raise the dead. I can change my world in one thought. All of this I'm a thought away from. But somebody around you is going to ask you, under whose authority? That's the serpent. That's the serpent. So a lot of times people are looking at you and they want to know exactly whose authority are you operating under. And when they ask that question, it's really a rhetorical one. It's the one that they ask so that you doubt who you are. They want you to doubt your potential. They need you to doubt your power. They need you to suppress yourself. They need you inside of a box. They want you spiritually dead. And the selfish part about it is a lot of times they don't mind having their own spiritual fulfillment. They're allowed to reach where they want to feel, what they want to be, and what they want to feel. But you have to settle. No, you don't. You don't. You don't have the you don't you the only reason why you don't have the job is because you don't really want it yet. The only reason why you haven't moved to where you want to move to is because you don't really want to move yet. Some of you got places that you say that you want to visit. You don't really want to visit those places because otherwise you'd already be there. The minute that you do, the minute that your mind is made up, that's the minute that change begins. But a lot of us decide that we're going to give in. Instead of us creating our environment, we're going to give in to our environment. We'll give in to trying to fit in, and we'll give up on trying to stand out. All of these, all of these things, and all of these levels, you're a thought away from. The only one that's responsible for your happiness is you. Nobody is responsible for making you feel beautiful. That's on you. I can't go inside of your mind and find what's the ugly and change it or feel better about it. That's something that only you can do. Nobody can make you feel confident except for you. No one can help you understand how much power you truly have because the only way you're going to feel it is to go inside of you and find it. A lot of us are stuck in a phase of outside recognition, but nobody is responsible for loving you except for you. No one. Facts. And that's the level though that we have to get to when we look at ourselves in the mirror and also when we self-reflect and we're looking at our own spirit and you're trying to make the spirit happy so that it can show on your face. so it can show in your walk and in your smile, so people can feel that energy when you just even walk by them. So these are different aspects. This is how we have to see ourselves. You have to love you. Expecting somebody outside of you to love you is the first mistake that you're making. That's the very first mistake that you make. Understanding how great you are, you got to believe that first. Other people will validate your greatness after you see it, but you got to see it first. You got to recognize it first. Does it mean that it's going to be a finished product when you see it? No. It's something that's going to have to be shaped and molded and worked on. You might have to add a little something to it. But it's something that you going to have to recognize. That comes in that self-reflection with you being honest with yourself. What are you happy with and what are you not happy with? What can you live with and what can you not live with? Shit, are you even living? Or are you just surviving? Are you just going day to day? Is that fair to you? Is that even fair to those around you? None of which. These things aren't fair. When you don't live in your full power, it's not only not fair to you, but it's not fair to those around you. Even when you holding yourself back like that, and it's right, that comes out on other people. That's not something that's healthy. And you can't get healthy in an environment like that. Because a part of your health is a healthy environment. That's in itself. But a lot of times we try to turn our back on that type of on where we're at spiritually, and we want to suppress that to make people around us feel comfortable. That's not your job anymore. Your job ain't to make others around you feel comfortable. Your job ain't for you to box yourself in order to fit inside of the environment around you. No, the job is on you to create an environment that's for you, that allows you to grow, that allows you to maximize your potential. Shout out to Tequila. I appreciate you in the building. But you can't be afraid to grow. And that's the issue. A lot of times you're afraid to grow. And it ain't just the environment or making people comfortable around you. You're comfortable where you're at. And it's scary sometimes when you can't necessarily measure what's on the other side. And that goes right back into some of you don't believe or know that you have the ability to fly. Some of you haven't hit the self-reflect mode and you haven't made the transition yet to the butterfly. But that also comes with the caterpillar having the correct diet also. The caterpillar has the correct diet in order for that transition to also happen. So now you have to understand too, what kind of spiritual food are you digesting? What is your spiritual intake? Are the things that you are bringing in, are these things of a high vibration and high energy? Or are these things on a lower vibration and a lower energy? The people that you vibe around, are they on a higher vibration or are they more on the lower one? Because if you vibing up here and they're vibing down there, they're only pulling you down. You know, it's almost like, you know, sometimes when people panic in the water, you can't even save them because they will drown you too. Unfortunately, it's people that you ain't gonna be able to save because they will drown you too. Shout out to Psychopathies, God, appreciate you in the building. But you comfortable with them. And it's bad because of that tie or connection. You don't want to break that off. And so you end up allowing them to pull you under. And it's not right. Spiritually, it's not right. And physically, it's not right. And it's really a disservice to both parties or to all parties that's involved. Because maybe growth for you and growth for them looks different. Maybe it looks different. But eventually, you're going to have to get to the point to where you're in an environment conducive for you to grow. So that comes with the soil that you're planting these seeds in. But blaming, you can't no longer blame those around you or the environment around you for not reaching your potential. Because the onus is on you. All of those things around you can be changed in one thought. You just have to have your mind made up. Very simple. You just need to have your mind made up. It not only needs to be a thought that you believe, but something that you speak out of your mouth with authority. So when they talk about the different tones and sounds and different things like that, No, this isn't necessarily tones and sounds of or pitches like as far as sopranos and how you no. This is the authority in which you speak in. That comes from knowing where that power actually resides. Anything that needs an invitation into your heart and mind shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be there. And everybody don't deserve your energy. It's not for everybody. See, some people like not even just the energies that are asking for your prayers and different things like that are trying to drain you or are parasitic. But a lot of the people that some of the people you around are possessed by these parasitic spirits and they feed off of you. They try to drain you. They try to drag you down. They try to make you doubt yourself. Those are the ones who go. Those are the scoffers. A lot of them are the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the scribes. See, a lot of people didn't know what he was talking about on that. But no, what made them Pharisees and Sadducees was the fact of how they viewed his authority. How they viewed his authority. He came telling them what authority he had, what power he had. They wanted him to doubt himself. When he raised the dead, he didn't ask for permission. He knew that he had the power, the authority, and the ability to do it. And so it was done. And so it was done. But a lot of what we doing, what are we trying to do? Fit into the mold and fit into the box. And we're trying not to offend people. Power to the dark side scheme. Appreciate you, God body. A lot of times we're trying to move around that authority, or we're trying to suppress that authority so we don't offend those around us who don't believe in their own selves. No. Because you don't believe in you, that don't mean I can't believe in me. That don't mean I can't know who I am. That don't mean I have to stay stagnant. That don't mean that I have to suppress myself, that I have to stay in this box. You don't owe nobody nothing. And the fact is, don't nobody owe you nothing. So if you expecting for somebody else to tell you what type of potential you got or what type of potential you can reach, then you might as well let that go. Because that's something you only gonna be able to find in yourself. Being comfortable with the parts that you believe in yourself is ugly, that you don't like as much. You can't be waiting on somebody for outside forces to come in and tell you that that's beautiful. That's something you're gonna have to recognize on your own. You're in control of that. In the direction that you headed, you're a thought away from it, whether it be negative or positive. But that also comes with not being afraid to fail. You can't even look at it. If you're afraid to miss the last shot, you'll never take it. You got to be able to take it and then also live with whatever the results is after the game. Because at the end of the day, it feels a lot better when you're in control of whether you win or lose than allowing somebody else to. That was something Kobe used to say. Kobe could live. He could live with missing the last shot. He couldn't live with Smush Parker missing it. But a lot of times, you're willing to let other people take the shot for you. When the win or the loss is nobody's fault but your own. So that's a decision, a conscious decision that you're gonna have to make in your self-reflection. How you see yourself, what potential, how much potential you have. What is it that you necessarily want? How do you want to be treated? How do you want to be respected? You deserve to be loved the way that you want to be loved. Shout out to Miss Whitty Reeves. Appreciate you in the building. You deserve to be loved how you want to be loved. Campgrounds TV. Appreciate you, God. You don't have to settle. But see, to even understand how you want to be loved, that's going to start with loving yourself. That's going to go in hand with respecting yourself enough to not accept anything less. Because if you're accepting less than what you know that you deserve, then who is that? Whose fault is that but your own? Because at the end of the day, that's in your hands. That's in your hand. And accepting anything less than what you deserve, that means you still haven't went in, you still haven't done the self-reflection, and you still haven't actually loved yourself the way that you're supposed to. You just still haven't. You're still looking for something outside. You still are. You're not going to be able to force people to give you what you deserve. You're just not. And the only person that you're hurting, well, nah, you hurt. Everybody gets hurt when you accept less. Because the world doesn't get to see you. A lot of us have a message that we're willing to throw away A lot of times because we're willing to accept less. A lot of time. But you can't. Shout out to Akasha. Power to the dark side. Appreciate you in the building. But you can't. But see, part of that, the reason why, and that's actually a good point, is actually doing the shadow work is because people are afraid of the dark. Most people are afraid of the dark. They can't even go in there. See, a lot of people don't even understand about what it means to be blinded by the light. You can't be afraid of the dark and afraid to go into that secret place, because that's what it is, the secret place within your own mind, and actually change it. That's where you are born again at. That's where the actual baptism takes place at. Is when you decide to change not only what you believe, what you think, but the authority in which you speak into this universe. But I get it. And it's something that we all have to kind of come to grips with. But once you really love yourself, then you can't settle for anything less than what you know that you deserve. So friends are gonna have to change. Your circle and your environment in general changes easily. So at some point, you've got to get over the hump of you. At some point, you're gonna have to get over the fear of the dark or being in the dark, because you actually have a whole fight in there that needs to take place. And it's already, actually, the fight is already happening, and you're losing unknowingly. You're forfeiting the match. You have to go inside of you and take control. I think one time Lex brought up, I forgot who it was. It was like, I think he was reading something from like a billionaire's book or something. But I think one of the things he was talking about was like laying down and actually controlling the thoughts before they even enter into your mind, to a point that you can actually see them before they even enter into your head, and decide on whether or not that's something that you even want to allow to even get processed. That's what a lot of us are going to have to do. We're going to have to take that turn. You're gonna have to be willing to get over that spiritual hump. You're gonna have to be willing to go inside of you in the dark and actually decide that you want change. Shout out to Neekwood B. I appreciate you in the building. Power to the dark side of Bazu. So a lot of times you haven't necessarily found the spot or hadn't taken the time out to love you because you're scared of the dark. You don't even want to go in there and find you. You're afraid to go and find yourself. A lot of the times we're afraid of what we may see. That's a lot of the time. Afraid of what we may see. Afraid of what you may have to feel. Afraid of what's in there that you know that you're going to have to deal with. But sooner or later, you're going to have to face yourself. Exactly. Exactly. Most of the diseases that we end up taking on and the sicknesses take place in the mind first. A lot of the times, these are mental programs that you have accepted. Most of the time, you've already accepted that at a certain age, your back is supposed to hurt. And so when you get there, it does. But at a certain age, you're supposed to look different. And so when you get there, it does. But a lot of these are thoughts you've already accepted. These are thoughts only you can change. And it's simple. You have the authority to do it. But that comes with you being able to not only accept your place, but to sit on your own throne in the kingdom that you've created. That's a must.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
It's a must. But that, like I said, that comes with you being able to believe the thoughts that you decided that you wanted to change,
Yeah,
the things that you wanted to make different,
yeah.
and then speaking them with an authority. Shut up here, princess. Actually speaking them with the knowing that what you're going for or what it is that you want, you already have it. You already have it. All physical matter is in your mind. All physical matter is a part of consciousness, but it isn't conscious. That means all of it are ideas. All of it, everything is a thought.
Dad,
Everything created from a thought.
Daddy, Dad.
Yes, princess.
Where's
So this is a part of your process in the journey of you because this is a journey that only you can take. You're alone on this one. You're alone on this one. You can get spiritual help and maybe comfort and different things like that, but the decisions that are made and different things, all of that, that's only on you. You make that decision on whether you're turning left or right. You're going to be in control of how much respect you get. You're going to be the one that's in control of what you deserve. Okay. And accepting anything less than is not only a lack of self awareness, but it shows a lack of self love. Actually, that's a great question. Yeah, yeah, he did. And not only in the names that he picked, but in the things that he spoke out into his music. And that's why it becomes dangerous too, because a lot of times when you even dealing with creating music, you're dealing with um you're dealing with different spells and different things like that in general. Like once you kind of put something, especially with music behind it and the drums and all of that, you starting to get into now the actual magic of words. And so when you're using that craft and you're speaking certain things against yourself, it, that can end up coming around to bite you. The personas that we take on. So yeah, I think in a lot of those ways, he created not only the people that he was around, right? Because those people don't exist in his world if he doesn't, if he changes his mind. But he also created the environment for it to happen because that environment doesn't exist if he changes his mind. You were thought away from changing your whole situation. You were thought away from reaching your actual potential. And all you have to do is say it with authority. But you can't be afraid of the dark. The only one that's responsible for your happiness is the eye. And the only place to find that eye at is in the dark. But you're gonna have to be willing to go in there. You can't continue to be blinded by the light. You can only see matter in the light, which in the light you're only gathering information in order to see these different things. But in general, in general, in order to see who people truly are, you're gonna have to see them in the dark. You're gonna have to see them in the dark.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry,
It's okay,
Dad.
baby. You're gonna have to. Almost like when we talk about the double slit experiment and they say like how a particle how when it's observed it you can kind of when once it's observed it changes its form. It changes from a wave function and it collapses into actual particles. That's no different than when you shine the light on somebody and the way that they was acting before the light hit them is something that's totally different from when they're actually being observed. The point of when you want to see somebody's true waveform, that's going to take place in the dark. But that comes with knowing how to see in the dark. But as long as we have only taken our observation, or as long as we are only observing, shout out to Amari Sweets, I appreciate you in the building. As long as we are only observing things in the light, meaning physical matter, and we're afraid to actually see people who they are in the dark, then you're going to have a hard time being able to pick the right type of environment. You're going to have a hard time putting the right people around you. But a part of that, the first step in even being able to see people like that or in that light is going to come with your self-reflection. You have to go in and find yourself first. From there, you set your own standard. That sets the standard for what type of environment you're willing to accept, what type of environment you're willing to conform to. That's where you decide if you want to be in a box, how big the box is. All of these things are decided there. The dangerous part is that area or that space doesn't get cleansing because a lot of people don't know that outside forces are actually adding things and putting things in there to weigh that down. I think they say it's like that kind of weighs the heart in a way. But even in if we even talking about my we're not weighing the heart, it's other things that we can even talk about being weighed. Just the level of authority that you believe that you have. What level of confidence are you operating with? Do you actually know who you are? Knowing who you are is gonna eliminate a lot of what you accept. It's gonna cut off a lot of what you even able to tolerate. Because let's be real. Most of what you even tolerate, most of that is based on your own self-worth. And once that's established, your own self-worth, your own self-identity, your own self-love, there is no accepting anything less than that. There ain't no way for you to even tolerate anything less than that. It'll start to make you sick. But you can't get to that level of understanding and be afraid, right? Be afraid to actually because mind you, this is the kingdom that you created. So now it's on you to actually establish the judgment. That becomes your responsibility. You make the consequences. True. And that's exactly that's the true ma'at. That's the true ma'at. Because you got to get to a point to where you're not waiting on judgment from outside forces, but you're the one that's actually judging yourself. You're the one putting yourself in correction. Now you begin to create an environment to where you're being respected the way that you know that you to the standard that you deserve, and you're being loved to the standard that you deserve. But you don't know your own standard or your own value as long as you're basing it on what you get from outside forces. That can't be where your validation lies. The first standard for self-love is, I mean, the first standard for how you want to be loved is going to be first how you love yourself. And if you're loving yourself less than you at your own standard, then you're going to accept love less than whatever standard that you should be getting it at. And that's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. But everybody doesn't deserve your energy. Everybody doesn't deserve your energy. Everybody doesn't deserve a breath. You going into a lower state. So first we are trying to find who we are. And see that's the caterpillar stage. But that's the issue. You're still in the caterpillar stage. We haven't reached the stage of we haven't yet reached the metamorphosis or the metamorphosis in order to actually change over it and actually see the potential of flying and actually becoming a butterfly. So right now, during the caterpillar stage, right now it's just about what we digest spiritually. That's the first step. Then the next step is wrapping yourself up and giving yourself time to actually self-reflect. Finding not the great parts about yourself, but the parts that you hate, the parts that are ugly, and either coming to grips with those parts or changing. And then from there, now you start to see your true potential, who you are, what you deserve, how far you can go. You actually see you got the potential to actually fly. Now you're transformed. You go from caterpillar in this stage now to a whole nother being. How far you can go, how far you can ride, all of these things change. But all of this is a thought process, and you're a thought away from whatever current condition you're in. You're just one thought away from that. So with that being said, power to the dark side. I appreciate everybody coming out and listening. Appreciate every last one of you. But also, I want you to appreciate yourself. So y'all already know what time it is. Praise to the most beautiful goddess of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, Emia, who is in the image of Whoopi Goldberg. You already know, if you are listening to this, together we are Babel, let's build. It's been a great one. And y'all already know, I think it looks like the party is being moved over to the Sister Nandi channel. I think I just got an alert. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this with the death of the AOI.
Ryu, this is crazy.
Yeah. Watch. Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Watch. Tell them keep playing dumb like ain't nobody a witness. Swear to God on my mama, everybody gon' get it eye. Everybody that's with them cause everybody I lit them Keep playing dumb like ain't nobody a witness. Swear to God on my mama, everybody gon' get it eye. Everybody that's with them cause everybody I lit them Niggas can't stand on shit, we living stressed out. Finna get a medal of honor, we bringing facts out. And you get stepped on every time you step out. You not a stepper where you from, you a step down. And stop repping where you from, you a let down. Can't be seen where you from, you keep your head down. That fat nigga mention my name, I'm breaking lead out. RIP another boss nigga, I think he bled out. He ain't gon' make it, I'm taking another head count. COVID so hot, I keep him from leaving beds out. Niggas self-snitching on live, bringing the fans out. They the last nigga took a O talking about how he dead now. You don't know your life too short, that had me stressed out. Somewhere he took a wrong turn, I on the death route. Try the little boy yard blue, I bring the chef out. Put a whole drum on the 9, that bitch attack now. Keep playing dumb like ain't nobody a witness. Swear to God on my mama, everybody gon' get it eye. Everybody that's with them cause everybody I hit them up. Keep playing dumb like ain't nobody a witness on my mama. Swear to God, everybody gon' get it eye. Everybody that's with them
Shout out to Karada.
cause everybody I lit them You can cry all you want, but I don't do tissue. So the guy you don't get through if you let blue get you. I put Nino on that mag, let my boo get you. Making Playboy moves with that new issue. When you surrounded by them snakes, you don't know who bit you. And that's the problem with you fakes, you don't know who hit you. And if I'm trying to make it shake, I don't care who with you. Call me Bruce MBD Sam, I got 2 pistols. AOI, a bunch of lanes, don't let that shoe fit you. And you better keep them tight, don't let that shoe fit loose. I can't miss, everything got shoe hit you. I ain't friendly, ain't shit, about blue been cool. And you know I don't forget, I'm like an elephant. Ayo, and the eye really irrelevant. Assed out, and we know we lacking intelligence. Keep them out your circle before you regret you let them in.
Ryu, this is crazy.